All right. Today is Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. The time is 3:35 p.m. Beautiful day outside. Few clouds in the sky, somewhat parted. Today, I have moved in, I would say just about not fully, but to a point where it is now comfortable to live in this wonderful, beautiful shed. You could tell maybe the acoustics are a bit different. There is not as much carpeting or things in here to soak up the small echo of my voice. Uh, However, the replacement for that con is that the place is a lot bigger. There's a lot more places for me to roam, to place objects and things and stuff like that, which is very nice because I have many objects that I wish to have all on display. And yeah, I think it's a positive. I like the place. The wall color is brighter, less dark. Maybe it'll improve my mood or my outlook on life in certain situations, hopefully. Maybe it won't. If it doesn't, that's okay. I hope that it will. I really hope that it will. Got a nice wall clock. I'll just go ahead and describe things that I'm seeing in the room right now. I'll have some pictures up. Got a clock on the wall. That's new. I have an air conditioner. Very nice. I used to not have an air conditioner. Like I said, a box fan that I would leave on. It was very hot in my old room, and I live in Florida. So an air conditioner is quite nice. However, I'm not allowed to turn it any lower than 72 degrees, I'm told by the landlord, but that's okay. I could live with that. I turned it on low, so if it's still a little bit loud, I do apologize, but I will not be turning it off. Let's see. My desk is way bigger. I do like the bigger desk. I used to just have I want to say it was a 34-inch by maybe like 26 or so inch desk. Not too shabby, but now I have another one the same size that I put on the other, that I put beside it. So now I have a nice big L-shaped desk to work at. One counter for digital art, music creation, video editing, etc., and then another one for just traditional, good old-fashioned drawing. Maybe getting some ideas down, maybe some other things if I ever decide to work on that. I have a dining table. Beautiful dining table, a bunch of candles on it. I was passed down a great big platter of candles, which I will be taking good care of. Let's see. And behind me, on this giant pony wall that sits beside my desk, so I'm kind of sitting in like a big U-shaped kind of type deal. I have all my CDs and my books and my shelf system. I got plenty of photos and figurines and many things that I've kind of been waiting for an opportunity to finally like get into, sink my teeth into, because in my old room I lived with a bunch of other people, so I was always very concerned about what noise would bleed out of the room. Coincidentally, or ironically enough, would be a better word to utilize, is that that room was so well insulated. I could really do whatever I want, as loud as I want, as long as the door was closed, and nobody would hear. Unfortunately, with the door closed, the room got very hot, and it discouraged it led me to discouraging myself from doing a lot of loud, fun things. But now I live in a place where it could be as loud as I want. I could scream. I'm not going to scream. I might scream later. How about that? Stay tuned. And at some point in this episode of TTIO, I will scream very loudly without warning. So please stay tuned for that. I have been enjoying more albums lately. While I was moving in the other day, I listened to, let me think. I listened to the Electric Light Orchestra album titled Time. I listened to Oingo Boingo's, what's the one with the gray cat on it? Nothing to Fear. Listen to Oingo Boingo's Nothing to Fear. Electric Light Orchestra's Time. I listened to the soundtrack of Ghostbusters 2. Once again, one of my favorite soundtracks for a movie. Um, and I haven't listened to much else since then yet. I'm hoping to here in a little bit. I am almost done moving, but not quite done moving. There's still some trash lying around. There's still a few knickknacks inside of boxes that I have yet to unpack. I just kind of dumped some stuff in drawers because I didn't feel like messing with it because I was moving for 5 days straight without a break. Uh, so I think today, maybe later today, I might tackle that. I might take advantage of the time at hand and put the finishing touches on this place so I have a nice full completely functional place. Right now there's still some stuff kind of sticking out of the closet, but I don't mind it one bit. It's clean enough for me to sleep in and watch it and enjoy my things, but soon it will be perfect. I think I might want to get another rug or two, and I would like to insulate the opened door closet for recording because I've not listened to the acoustics of this room from a microphone, but I imagine just from what I'm hearing already, uh, because I work with I like to work better with very isolated sound clips. And for those of you keen listening viewers out there who know that TTIO is not edited nor is it listened to by me, that the audio quality for these is terrible, but that's okay because I don't care because nobody knows who I am and this is nothing serious. But for bigger projects that will never be posted onto this channel, but on other ones that I will never link, I prefer nice, quiet, closed off audio clips with very even levels. But that is a problem for another day. And by another day, I mean very soon, because I've been writing a song that is almost complete that I cannot wait to record for. I gave myself plenty of vocals to exercise with. I have been picking up the trumpet once again lately. In this place where I could be so loud, I am taking advantage of that. I do love practicing my trumpet now. I used to hate it. Band class in school, while it did teach me a lot, it left a sour taste in my mouth in the world of music, but now I'm ready to come back and not allow any of those people who made that whole world very unappealing. I am now in my own zone. They do not control what I practice. They do not control how I play. They do not control what I change to make things easier or harder for me. I am in complete control of that. Speaking of which, today I have with me a thing that I own. Today I have an IBC cream soda, founded in 1919. The IBC cream soda is made with real life cane sugar. However, it is artificially flavored to be like cream. 180 calories of a serving from one bottle, actually not that bad. Added sugars, 87% of your daily value. Could be better, but I have seen worse. You know, a regular bottle of Coca-Cola, it's about 120 to 140 percentage of your daily intake of sugar. So this really does knock it out of the park. And I've been sipping on these lately. Oop, they tell me to recycle. I have a bottle in the trash. I'll need to dig back out again. But these things are tasty. They're very nice, very tasty. They look like real beer. I imagine if you wanted some real prop beer, you could just kind of mark out the cream soda with it, with like a marker, and it would very easily pass off just as a regular looking beer. It's a nice, beautiful amber color and a wonderful stout glass bottle. It would make a very good prop. And I've been sipping on it. Oh yeah, that's delicious. Got good acoustics too. I am a big sucker for cream sodas and cream flavored things. The day that I was moving in, that I actually started when I got all my things in here and I was starting to unpack them, I purchased for myself 2 Ghost orange creamsicle flavored energy drinks. Now let me tell you something. I love me orange creamsicle. I think orange creamsicle, cookies and cream, and bacon are about the biggest reasons to for anybody to be fat or overweight. I am a bit overweight, I will admit. I am not ashamed of it. I am proud of who I am and I'm comfortable within my gross body. I'm very comfortable within it. I look to make changes. I am starting to make those changes now, starting with understanding more consciously what I'm putting in my body and cooking meals for myself more rather than relying on pre-made meals with undeterminable amounts of salts and fats, and that encourage me to eat more and buy more and round up and add things. Tomorrow at my job at the supermarket, I will be purchasing some chicken thighs and most likely some rice. Get a good old fashioned recipe going called chicken thighs and rice. One of my favorites. Staple meal. Cannot go wrong with it at all. I think probably the unhealthiest part about the meal is that I do like to put French's fried onions in it, along with any other sauce. But portioned out correctly, it is not too shabby and it does not break the calorie bank. It's very filling. I believe today I had biscuits and sausage gravy. I had made myself a small bowl of pasta with a type of Alfredo sauce. I kind of just eyeballed everything that went into it, but the main calorie contributors was maybe a teaspoon of butter, a couple tablespoons of whipping cream, and maybe a quarter or maybe a third cup of Parmesan with some ziti pasta. Nothing else in it besides some seasonings, which I imagine wouldn't contribute very harshly to the calorie intake, maybe besides salt, which is a big factor, but I barely put any salt in there. Maybe a little bit in the water and just a touch in the bowl. Really not a lot. And even after all that, I still felt hungry. I think I just had a small chunk of a loaf of bread with some topping put on it. I will not say what the topping is. Go ahead and leave in the comments what you think the topping is, and if your comment is correct, I will not respond to it. If it is incorrect, I will also not respond to it. And after all that, I still kind of feel hungry. And that just goes to show a couple nice big full meals filled with things that are good for you will always be better than snacking gradually throughout the day. However, I have also been paying attention to my body more lately. The other day when I was moving around some more objects and things, I noticed that the entire day I felt pretty good because I wasn't eating anything. I was just moving. I maybe sipped some water, a little bit of some bubbly drink, and nothing too crazy. And I had dinner, and dinner was very good and delicious. I think it was tacos. We had made some tacos at home. Not very nutritious, but also not terrible. It's mostly just meat. And I do not care what you say. I like red meat, and I think it's good for you. It's like everything is good for you in moderation. Maybe except crack. I do not have any personal experience with crack, but I imagine in any quantity is probably not the best for you. Now, right afterwards, I was pretty full and pretty sluggish, but that made sense to me because I just ate, and it was the only thing in my body was tacos. So I was like, this is pretty good, but I'll go ahead and wind down. And I think along somewhere in the lines there was ice cream, so I said, why not have myself a bowl of ice cream? So I did. I made myself a bowl of ice cream, and just afterwards I just felt so out of breath and sluggish, and I was just not feeling at my tip-top shape. It was okay because it was just before I had to go to bed. But what wasn't okay is I made the decision to eat that ice cream so soon before bed, because now I just felt all groggy and terrible. I did not like it one bit. And I've been paying attention to how that makes me feel, and I realize one of the biggest things is that I am not disappointed when the serving size on my plate is a little bit smaller, and that can go up very, very high, like the amount that I take off my plate before I'm actually dissatisfied. I always put so much on because I'm concerned that by the end of it I'll still be hungry. But what I've been doing more lately is I'll make myself smaller plates, and if I am still hungry, I can go up and walk and get myself a little bit more. But instead, I'm not going to put so much on my plate as an expectation for me to eat it all. Instead, I'll just eat until I no longer feel hungry, and then I'll run with that for the rest of the day, because while it may not feel as satisfying as gorging myself on the food that I love, it is more satisfying in the long run to have the food that I love and afterwards still be able to spring back up and do activities and not feel very sluggish, like biking or moving or walking around, which I love all three of those very, very much. And I think I may or may not go for a bike ride later today, as long as I do not make eye contact with my parents which I love, but I do not want to see right now. I'm enjoying the separation from them, and I want to embellish in it a lot more. I want to see a lot less of them. I love them to death. I would just like a bit of my own privacy and peace of mind. And let me tell you something, this place has brought me nothing but joy, and exactly that. Take another swig of my IBC cream soda made since 1919 with 180 calorie serving of a bottle and 80% of your daily intake of added sugars. Delicious. The artificial cream flavor kind of reminds me of the flavor that they use in Lucky Charms marshmallows. Because Lucky Charms marshmallows, well, there are marshmallows, they don't exactly taste like marshmallows, like sugary marshmallows. They kind of have a different kind of flavor to them, and I was never able to put my finger on it until one day I tried Publix brand French vanilla creamer for coffee, and it really does bring that kind of same taste to coffee that Lucky Charms has. Maybe I will or will not pick up a bottle later to make my own coffee with, which, among the list of things that I need to buy, this is a perfect segue. Among the list of the things I need to buy, like more carpet, foam for the closet, and a kettle, let me just tell you that moving is goddamn expensive. I did not realize how expensive moving would be, and I'm doing it the cheapest way possible. I think that you could be able to do it with just by walking one thing from another, no gas, no help. I guess kind of doing it on my own. But the cheapest way I could do it, and I still found myself spending upwards of $500 to move into this place. And that was because, and I didn't have to do this, but I felt like I needed to, because if I didn't do it now, I was never going to do it, and it needs to happen. I needed to buy myself things that I've needed for a while, and especially things that I would need if I was living on my own. And let me go ahead and click on this YouTube video called Cringy TikTok Horror, just to have some B-roll for me to look at. You don't get to look at it today. But among that list of things, of a large amount of things, I was looking at it and I was like, surely if I buy the bare essentials, I won't go over budget. Which I think my budget was like $200 or $300. I was expecting to spend a pretty penny, but not as much as I did. I was looking at it and I was like, these are all bare essentials, and it's so much. I've had to buy a new comforter because my comforter was too small for the bed that was already in here. Plus, my old comforter was ripping and breaking, so I couldn't use it. I didn't have to buy a new TV. I'm gonna get up and walk around now. I didn't have to buy a new TV for my place, but the new place has such a big giant bed and spacious place for relaxing and actually enjoying yourself, and it wouldn't have made very much sense at all to have a very tiny 12-inch TV all the way at the end of the bed. So I bought myself a nice cheap, for what it is, 40-inch TV. I'm looking at it now, and isn't it remarkable that these things used to be luxury, and now they're just about the cheapest form of TV that you could purchase brand new today, are flat screen smart TVs. But that was another thing on the list, and it kind of made sense, especially since the other one had dead pixels and bars. And I have a big, luxurious collection of movies and TV series that I want to love and enjoy more, and it would be nice to enjoy them on a TV that actually isn't busted. What else did I buy? Let's see. I bought a mini refrigerator for my place to keep this IBC cream soda made since 1919 with a calorie count of 180 calories per bottle and a daily intake of added sugars of 87%, to keep some of those in. And I think tomorrow I may or may not purchase some salsa for salsa and chips. Actually, I think I will not. Instead, I'll just stick to the chicken thigh and rice, keep myself filled and from snacking. And while I don't think that chips and salsa would be a bad choice for a snack, I feel like it would be one of the healthier choices, as it's just a nice, delicious collage of vegetables and whatnot with a very simple chip that your body is able to digest. Actually, I'm kind of convincing myself and trying to tell myself why I wouldn't want to buy it, and I'm just convincing myself to buy it. So maybe I will. I think that refrigerator was about $40. Where are we at right now in the budget? Go ahead and add in the comments, because what else did I buy? Let me tell you what else I bought. I also bought, let's see, the TV, the refrigerator, mini refrigerator. And I don't mean mini fridge. I mean like a mini refrigerator. Like, it's not even a refrigerator, it's a cooler. It's like a little 10-liter one. That's how small it is. Mini refrigerator, comforter, TV, hard drives. I bought hard drives because this entire time I've been working off of Samsung USB devices, which is, they are fine, they are great, they've not given me any problems, but sometimes they get warm and sometimes they'll randomly disconnect and then immediately reconnect back to the computer, which kind of gave me some worry, and I didn't want to risk it, so I went ahead and I bought 2 Samsung brand 250 gigabyte SSDs with a Weeme brand hard drive cloner. A bit hesitant when I opened the box and I found that there was just a big clone button, and reading everything online, it said that this thing could only be used for cloning, but I just wanted it as a hard drive bay. I just wanted it as a way to read the data off of multiple hard drives without having to use 2 separate USB cords or anything like that, and this was in budget, so I went ahead and bought it, and it's doing that just fine. One thing I will say is that I didn't know when I plugged in the SSDs they didn't pop up, and that's because you have to initialize them and do a whole bunch of crud. So if you too are buying SSDs to use externally, even if they're branded to be internally, go ahead and make sure to look up some tutorials on how to do it and not be scared like me, who just wasted supposedly $87 on a whole data setup that at first I didn't think worked. And I'm glad that I stuck through with it, and I came out in the end knowing more than I had left with. Now, the next thing that I bought was a mic stand with a shock mount, because my Razer Siren mini microphone, which is not the one I'm using now. Right now I'm using a Zoom H1N or something like that I used to record these. But the Razer Siren mini that I've been using, the threads in it, like in the little part where you screw in the stand, those have been worn out because I don't have it screwed in the stand that it originally came with. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, I haven't seen the stand that it originally came with throughout the entire move, so I'm kind of wondering if it's still here or not. But so I put that in the shock mount because the threads didn't work. So, which, if you don't know what a shock mount is, it's just like a little harness made of rubber bands that holds the microphone. And I got a new arm with that anyways, because the other arm was about 7 years old. So I got all that, and that wasn't too bad. I want to say what I also bought was, I know I also bought Smiling Friends on Blu-ray, which was very cool, very epic. I have yet to listen to the DVD commentary, which I hope to do later today. I hope to do a lot of things today. It's only 4 p.m. Edging on it right now. It is 3:58 p.m. as we speak. The clock just ticked over to 3:58 p.m. And I have 6 hours of daylight to do with what I please. Now, I don't have my whiteboard up, which I did not buy during the move. It's just something else that I have. I do not have my whiteboard up, but I hope to get it up soon, because that whiteboard helps me very clearly plan out things, and when things are laid out for me visually, I'm able to do them. Like, I actually do them. Like, I take the thinking off my brain, and things become easier. But I think I'll do it right now. I think I'll say what I want to do. I believe today, creatively, I'm a little bit lost. I want to do some work on my movie, but I also want to finish up that song, but I'm not sure what to do for either. Ow, shit. Took off a Band-Aid. I'm ripping off a Band-Aid, but it hurts because there's hair there. Damn. Got a sore going on. Anyway, see, this is how easily I get off topic, and when I'm not holding myself accountable, I just kind of waste a whole day away, which I want to be more conscious of my time, just as I am more conscious of what food I put in my body. Let's see. I would like to have a couple hours, and I think I'm going to go ahead and close Discord, because as I'm running all these things through my mind, I'm kind of debating whether or not I should blow them all off just to get on VC with friends. And while I do love my friends and I do want to spend time with them, I don't want to, because I do that all the time. I just tell myself I can't wait to do this thing, and then I see people around BC, and then I just hang out with them all day instead of doing the things that make my life better, more interesting, and fill up my days with meaningful things other than just hanging out with friends. So I'm going to go ahead and close that, and I'm going to say to myself today, I want to spend a couple hours, the last couple hours of my day, listening to the Smiling Friends commentary, maybe while I read a book or I draw or something like that, something physical with paper. I would love to doodle a bit more in this sketchbook that I've neglected for so long. And the longer I neglect things, the more I abandon them. So I'm going to go ahead and try to reinstate that into my life. I would like to, at some point today, listen to another album. I think I'd like to listen to Currents, or maybe another one of the Justice albums that I love so much. I think I might just listen to Currents. I want to put more Tame Impala in my body. I love the album covers, and I want to have a reason to love the album covers other than just the fact that they look amazing. And let's see. Listen to Smiling Friends commentary, listen to an album. I can listen to an album while I finish up packing. Not packing, but while I finish up unpacking, like I've been doing so far, because there still are some things in my closet. My legs are feeling much better. My back is feeling much better. I have a clearer mind. But I think it might actually be better to listen to the Smiling Friends commentary while I do the last bit of packing, of unpacking. So we can put those two together. I have all these albums I would like to listen to. I may or may not be able to squeeze that in today, but that's okay. That is okay. I could listen to the albums while I do some work on the movie. Which one would I like? I think I would like Tame Impala Currents. You've all seen it. It's the one with the cool metal ball and a sea of black and purple stripes. I think I might listen to that while I do a little bit of animation work on the movie, which I will do prior to a bike ride, because I would like to get energized by the music and feel it in my body before the bike ride, so I'm excited to do it. So I could listen to an album and work on the movie, and until then I could still work on the song that I'm working on right now. However, pause, I'm not feeling too, like, I would like to work on the song more, but I've already worked on it a good bit today, and I feel like I'm at a good stopping point. So maybe what I'll actually do is I'll quit working on the song right now. I think I'll load up a game. I'll play a little bit of a video game, a little video game. Play a little video game. Then at the 2 hour mark, when it's dinner time, we'll eat dinner. I'm not sure what's for dinner, but I did see chicken breast defrosting on the counter. So whatever it is, I can eat light, unless there's mashed potatoes, in which case I will overdo it. But I could eat that. Wait, no, let me think. Because I want to do it early enough, because I want to be in bed by 10 sharp, so I could be energized for work tomorrow. I'll run it through one more time, and this time I'll pay attention. Game from right now until 6 or 5, whenever I feel satisfied, and I could eat and then before dinner I will definitely listen to an album while I work on the movie. And depending on how early it is and how late dinner is, I will either bike ride before dinner or I will bike ride immediately after dinner. When I come home and I've cooled off, I will walk into the house, pop in the Smiling Friends Season 1 on Blu-ray into my TV, listen to the commentary as I unpack and unwind for the night. As I'm unpacking and putting on the finishing touches and my house looks nice and pretty and beautiful. It should be rolling around... God, at that point, it should be rolling around 8 or 9 p.m. I can go ahead and get the work schedule for the next 2 weeks for my job and figure out where I want to hang up this whiteboard so I could be a bit more precise with my work, with my week. And then maybe at that point, I could plan out this next week coming up, because tomorrow will be Thursday, and it's the last day of my work week because then I'll have Friday off, and then the new work week starts Saturday. I do believe I'll have this Saturday on. I'm not too sure. I usually work. I used to usually work 4 days a week, and then for a while they put me at 3 days a week with almost no explanation, and now they're slowly putting me back into 4 days a week. So I work Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. So it's almost like a day on, day off, except for the weekends, which I very much appreciate. It's enough time to rest up and do my own thing, and it makes it so that every day that I go to work, I'm consistently working towards that day off instead of working towards the next paycheck. Because I feel like when I work towards the next paycheck, I'm just focused on what I'm going to spend it on. But when I work towards the next day off, I'm focused on what I'm going to do that day, which I'm trying to take helm of. I do need to be careful, however, because I feel like my addiction for pornography is coming back, and I would like to quell that. The isolation, the amount of isolation that I have in this room has given me almost no reason to control myself. But I think as long as I keep my head forward and I fill my life up with meaningful things, I'll have very little desire to do more of that. However, if I do more of that, it won't be a problem as long as it doesn't overtake the other things in my life that I like to give attention to. It's not a problem. That kind of stuff isn't a problem as long as you're able to successfully manage and balance your hobbies and the tasks that you need to do that day to stay productive and on top of your ball. When it does become a problem, you could tell because you're spending more time convincing yourself that you have either done work or that you've had a good reason to not do work today in favor of that activity. So, and wow. Just realized every single time that I record an episode of TTIO, and I think I've mentioned it before, but every single time I record an episode of TTIO, it almost perfectly comes out to 30 minutes without trying. It's like I found that sweet spot where I could do about 30-ish minutes of consistent talking, conveying my thoughts, just about everything that I have out in my head. And I feel like that could be something that all of you could also take away from that. If you just take 30 minutes out of your day, or you just give yourself a time period in the day to empty out your thoughts, kind of spell them out on a table and reorganize them to feel a bit more straighter in your life, it would only take 30 minutes and it would make your day so much clearer and better. Because I haven't done TTIO in about a week, about 8 days. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think I could feel it. I could feel my life getting more and more unorganized. Despite me moving it all very organized, I could feel my brain and the information there getting more and more unorganized, more and more undetermined. And I don't put that as the thing as I need to do TTIO every day. Because I didn't want to, because I was very tired and I was feeling a lot of emotions during that whole move. But now that I have a place to record, I have space and time to myself. I could tell you for sure with confidence I will be doing a lot more often. And when I don't do it for a while, just know I will be right back, because this exercise I've given myself has done nothing but help me. So that's all I have to.